Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I have another fun project to share with you, this time featuring the Birthday Blitz stamp set and Birthday Blitz die set. This stamp set was part of the Birthday Blitz card kit at Simon Says Stamp. If you don't have the card kit, you can purchase this individually. So this is a stamp set. I think it's so fun. I wanted to do something kind of different with this rainbow wavy stripy stamp. Okay, I had an idea. So I have a panel of white cardstock here. It's like a half sheet of Hammermill, and I'm going to stamp this wave image 3 times with 3 different shades of ink, and then I'm going to trim it up and make a colorful rainbow. Because when I saw this, I thought, well, how can I make all the arches different colors? Because it's one solid stamp, and I don't want to cut this apart. So I'm going to stamp it 3 times. First, I'm stamping with PEONY ink, one of my favorite colors of all the Pawsitively saturated inks. This is actually my 3rd project using the Birthday Blitz card kit. So that gives you any idea. I don't know what it was about this latest card kit, but it was, well, you know, I know what it was. It was the rainbows. There was the rainbows. There was Ferris wheels. There was popcorn. I mean, it's like all my favorite things. And you get like a bunch of solid color cardstock in it. And I just found myself playing with it more than the average card kit. So here we are. We're on our 3rd project. And so I stamped that first row of wavy stripes with PEONY ink. I'm going to clean it off and then replace it. This time I'm going, and I'm not being careful where I place the stamp. These are all going to get die cut. So I'm just slapping it down where I can find room. This time I'm inking it up with blush ink. And I've noticed I usually have to stamp twice. Stamp it twice to make it nice. So you can get a good, rich, even coverage with your stamping. Because it is a large stamp. And you know, sometimes when you're trying to cover all the area, it can get kind of like splotchy where you move the ink pad around. So I find stamping it a couple times gets a smoother result. Okay, so I'm going to clean this off. This time I'm stamping it with grapefruit ink. So going orange, and it's actually hanging off the panel here because I ran out of room, but that's okay because I only really need that bottom orange stripe. So it's hanging off, stamping it twice to make it nice with grapefruit ink, and then we're going to die cut all these little rows. Okay, so it's looking good right now. Actually, you could do something with that design. It's kind of cool. So I'm taking the coordinating dies. The dies do not come in the card kit, but they are a fabulous add-on, and it gives you a lot more mileage to things you can do. The more and more I look at these stripes, they're reminding me of bacon. I don't know what it is. Okay, so each one taken off camera, running through my die cutting machine, and then you'll have yourself 3 little bacon strips. I mean, everybody loves bacon, but can you imagine rainbow bacon? I'm getting off topic, but seriously. Okay, so here's what I wanted to do. I was going to try to stack these rows of strips, like one pink one red one orange one. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of cutting and, you know, kicking it old school with the fussy cut. I don't know how else to make this work. You never know if it's going to work until you try it. So sometimes you just got to give it a go. So I'm cutting off the bottom one for the blush, and that'll fit right over top with the orange showing through. And then now for this peony one, I'm cutting off the bottom 2. So then I'll just have that top peony arch, lay that on. See how this is coming together? This was the vision. Okay, I'm still not sold on it, but we're gonna like proceed and see where we go. Okay, so I'm using this glue, and I'm gonna start stacking up the rows and layering them until I get a little rainbow wave. It's like a rainbow wave. It's a rainbow wave of bacon. Okay, last one at the top with the peony. I love this Pawsitively Perfect craft glue. It hasn't let me down. I'll tell you what, I think I'm halfway down. I'm halfway down the bottle. I'm happy to report it has not clogged one single time. So there's something to be said for that. Okay, so there you have your arch, letting it dry. And then now we're going to create a little fun card with it. I have a panel here of white cardstock. I'm going to stamp a sun. Okay, so the sun is the sun. And then the center, you could do a lot of different things. I'm stamping it with SUNBEAM ink. But in the stamp set, there's a solid center, there's smiley faces, there's hearts, there's flowers. You could do a lot of different things. You could stamp a sentiment in the middle. I thought about doing a heart sun center, which is what I am actually doing. And I'm going to stamp that with a little bit darker yellow, citrine. So we have a citrine center and a sunbeam rays. Okay, then use coordinating die. I love that there's coordinating dies for all these elements. So you could really layer. You could even turn that sun into a shaker now that I just thought about it. Cut out the center part and shake it up. Okay, then for a sentiment, I'm stamping that with VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I'm going to use the coordinating die to cut it out. Shout out for the coordinating sentiment dies. They just make life worth living. Okay, I have a panel here of very light blue cardstock. I believe it's Powder by Concord and 9th. And then I'm popping up the heart sun center. And I want to tuck it behind the rainbow rays. So I'm going to have to, I got to be a little strategic here. You ever have to be strategic the way you place something behind it? Because I can't let it get in the way. So I had to cut half the sun. You're not going to notice it, but it's sliced up to the high heavens. But these are the things you got to do so it doesn't get in the way of the foam tape. But when you tuck it, no one knows. See, look at how cute that is, that sun tucked behind the rays. By the way, I'm using Big Mama foam tape by Simon Says Stamp. It's a very thin foam tape, so it doesn't give you a ton of bulk, but it gives just the right amount of dimension. Okay, so I'm putting the rays here. It almost looks like a wave, but we're going for rainbow. And then I'm going to tuck the sun right behind that little arch, just like so. Got to get in there. And then a little bit of foam tape behind the sentiment and nestle that right in there. What does it say? Hope today is full of love, laughter, and sunshine. And then to finish it off, a few of these clear sequins here and there, just kind of staggering them in the 3 different sizes. And then, of course, I got to trim off those extra rainbow rays hanging off the sides, although they do look kind of cool. Okay, flipped it over, just snip those off with these. These are my favorite scissors, the Spellbinders Shears. They are sharp, and I love them. Okay, fun, simple, colorful, happy and bright card to just send someone some sunshine. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.